So you have your real estate investment company, you have a property management company, you have 𝑟𝒿. How do you manage all of this in your personal life? How do you balance that out? Like, what are some of the things that you do to kind of keep that balance, make sure, because you're married and you have kids?
2 kids, yeah.
2 kids. So how do you manage
Right.
that home life to make sure that with all of these businesses, all of these projects that you have going on, I mean, you live in Canada, you invest in Indiana, you have all of this. What do you have in place, or how do you manage that kind of work-life balance, as people call it?
Yeah, I mean, like once, I mean, I use my calendar a lot. So once I've set
Mm-hmm.
something on my calendar, then it just basically tells me what I need to do. But I just have to make sure I put stuff on my calendar that I want to and I need to do.
Mm.
But once it's on my calendar, I mean, down to vacation days, like I put vacation on my calendar. That means just I'm not available. Um, and then just delegating more and more. Like yesterday, we actually let go of somebody in our company that wasn't living up to our core values, and these are our core values right here
Right.
on this wall. And we let go. And then you've talked to Danielle, I believe, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I told her, look, you don't need to reach out to me for every little decision. I trust you enough that you can make that decision and you can tell me after the fact that, hey, this is what I did and this is why I did that. That's all I need to know, because I want to make decisions about the things that I know I can add the most value with. Um, but then like it's calendar, like every day, either 11:30 to 12:30, depending on the day, or 4:30 to 5:30. I'm working out. No matter what happens, Monday to Friday, uh, either 11:30 to 12:30 or 4:30 to 5:30 is my workout time. That's it. Like I'm not available. And then when I'm plugged in, like when I'm on Facebook, then I'm not trying to do anything else that's that requires my attention. So like when I'm on Facebook, then that's it. Like I'm just replying to posts. I'm not trying to think of a next feature to build, for example. But when I'm thinking of something that's important, then I'm completely disconnected. Like I'm on this call right now, my phone is switched off. If
Yep.
somebody calls me one time, two times, or 1,000 times, I have no idea, because this is what I'm 100% committed to.
Wow.
And then that's it. I think it just, uh, the one thing book, I talked about, that was a huge influence. On my flipping business, for example, I've delegated most of the decisions, like almost all of the decisions, to the point where after last 50, 60 houses that I've flipped, I haven't even um, stepped foot into any one of them. I don't think, I haven't stepped foot into any house since last year, none whatsoever. Um, like even my project manager, she actually lives in California and she manages everything in Indiana, to the point where it's not like she's flying back and forth every month. She goes there once every year and she's managing all her contractors. Like I've never met my contractors, I've never talked to them. I don't even know their names, because that's not where I'm adding the value. I've created a different bank account for my project manager. I move money into that account and she's taking care of all the payments. So I have to trust her to manage that. And then I say, hey, you trust it? I'm just managing everything by numbers. That's it. That's all I need to know. You tell me, a friend, it's going to be 40,000. Fine. We buy our property based on that 40,000 decision number that you give me. And then it's her responsibility to make sure it gets done in 40,000, because she's getting incentive based on that. So I'm not looking at it on a day-to-day basis. Like we're just going to, when we're doing our weekly calls, we literally have 1 hour call every Thursday from 10:30 to 11:30. And that's the call I'm on, where my acquisition manager is there, my project manager, and my CO is there on the call. And then we just quickly go through all our KPIs in Simply. We're like, okay, this is how much we spent, makes sense, and we make decisions that we need to. Other than that, that's it. Like, you know, and then
Wow.
same thing on the Simply and property management. Same thing. I've given profit sharing to my employees in the property management company. Look, you guys run it like it's your own business. I want to make sure you're happy with the money that you're making, and then you run it how you think is best. I'll do a call with you once a week. In those calls are Thursday in the afternoon, 1 o'clock. That's it. You just tell me how the numbers are. That's all I need to know. If the numbers make sense, that's all I need to know. I don't need to know anything else. I mean, if there's anything else they want to talk about, we can talk about that. But I don't have to make all the decisions. I just want to make the decisions that actually make me happy. I mean, hiring a contractor, fighting a contractor, that's not going to make me happy. That's not what my strength is. My strength is, okay, what do we need to do? Like, what's the vision of the business? Like, do we need to go in a different market? Do we need to pick a different marketing strategy, based on the numbers that we have? And that's where I add value, and not, on the nitty gritty of it.
I can, I feel like we can go on for a long time, because just on that alone, I mean, I have a million questions, because I'm in that position of delegating, outsourcing, passing responsibilities off, giving people that confidence, that, like you're saying, that they can make the call, and don't worry about if it's the wrong call, you're going to get fired, because I gave you the flexibility to make that call, right? Yes, if you make a mistake, we'll address it, we'll try to fix it and make sure it doesn't happen, but you're not going to lose your job over it, right? So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, and at the same time, you don't want to give somebody, like an intern, a business critical decision to make. So you have to, like, I mean, people have to earn the trust that you give them. They can't just walk in and say, okay, I'm like giving you all this trust. They have to earn, like, you give them a little bit, see how they're performing, and then if they're doing good, you add another, just keep stacking more responsibilities to them, and you just see at what point they cannot handle. And if their capability is to handle 5 things and they're amazing at it, just let them handle those 5 things. And if you give them 6th one and everything starts falling apart, then maybe either it's something that you've given them the 6th thing that they're not handled, or if you just given overburden them. So that's, but I mean, my project manager has been with me for 5-6 years now. Yeah. And and she manages all my projects to the point where I trust her. She hires the people, and she lets go of somebody if she needs to, as far as like contractors and stuff like that. I don't even need to, that's her part of the business. And the better we do, the more money she makes. So it's like she's on a base plus profit sharing. So like it's in her best interest to get the project done in lowest amount of time and the lowest amount of budget, because then we're making more money as a company, and she's getting more money made from that.
No, it makes perfect sense. And that's that was kind of the motto that we've been thinking about, because right now my business partner, John, he's the one that handles the projects, and we want to outsource project management and all that. And that's what we thought would be the best route. It's do base plus. That way you have an incentive to make sure that, everything's getting done in time and on budget.
Yeah, absolutely. Like what we do is for our projects is, like, we even factor in the holding costs, like to the interest cost, right? So if you borrowed money from someone, so every day that the project is not sold, it's costing us money because we borrowed money. So that goes into the net profit calculation, because we don't want to look at the direct cost. I mean, it is, the interest is not maybe tied to a specific property. We might have a loan, let's say for $500,000, that's against 2 or 3 properties. But then we have to, when we do the net numbers, we take the interest cost also. So then my project manager also knows, this, I mean, making $50,000 in 1 week is completely different from making $50,000 on a project over 2 years. So then we have to factor those costs also. And then that's why her goal is to get the project done as quickly as possible in the least amount of money possible. And that's where she's making the most money.